Peace and blessings to the family. It is me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Lions Den Boxing community. Shout out to the Louisiana All American Sports Network. Shout out to Envision Photography and Video. And shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. This is the Tailgate Party Season 1, Episode 9. We're the Prairie View Panthers. Spar homecoming for the Southern University Jaguars. We're going to talk about it all in this episode of the Tailgate Party. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Jitty. All right. Let's see who we got in the building. Your boy Jay. Go Jags. Happy homecoming. Happy homecoming to you, your boy Jay. Relax and calm rain. Salute Coach, Chat, Jaguar Nation, and HBCU family. Relax and calm rain. Go Jags. Salute to you, relaxing comrade. Motivation to be a millionaire. Salute to you. He said, salute, Coach 67. Chat, Jaguar Nation, and HBCU family. He said, go Jags. Will Wallace, GSU on top. Will Wallace, Tiger fans, you can rewatch the JSU versus the Alabama State game on ESPN right now. Well, you got the wrong show, Will Wallace. See, we're going to address that tomorrow on HBCU Fanatics on my brother Jared 11 Green channel. Y'all be certain to come over tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on my brother Jared 11 Green channel, HBCU Fanatics, on tomorrow night, 7:30. Come through, check us out. We're going to talk about, Jackson State's win over Alabama State. We're going to talk about the potential coaching carousel in the SWAC. We're going to talk about a variety of different things. However, we're talking about Southern University homecoming 2025 against Prairie View on this particular channel. So, wrong night, wrong channel, Will Wallace. Come over tomorrow night, Jared 11 Green channel, HBCU Fanatics, you dig? So, I plan on being here for a good time, not a long time. Your boy J.C. Graves, final game on Saturday. Hope he enjoys homecoming. This is his last as a head coach. Yeah, and for those individuals that didn't catch it, last night I talked about potential Southern University head coaches. Not only at Southern University, truthfully speaking, some of these candidates I talked about could also be the head coach at FAMU because it looks like James Cozy probably going to get the axe at the end of this season. Also, Grambling State because it looked like Mickey Joseph. He probably going to get the axe. Also, Alcorn State because Cedric Thomas, he's not doing good either. And not only that, but, I mean, you got a couple other schools that could potentially be looking for a head coach after this season. So, at the end of the day, like the SWAC collectively as a whole is not looking good, but those, I'm going to say blue blood caliber schools in the SWAC, Southern, Grambling, Alcorn State, FAMU, they could all potentially be looking for head coaches at the end of the season. So, we're going to chop it up. We're going to talk about Southern University homecoming. Let me square this away, and I'm going to just jump right into it. All right. So, in terms of, the tailgate party, we're going to talk about it. The tailgate party, uh, season 1, episode 9, will the Prairie View Panthers spoil homecoming for the Southern University Jaguars after 45-14 blowout loss in Daytona to the Bethune Cookman. Can Southern University bounce back for homecoming 2025 and get a much needed win against the Prairie View Panthers? I'm going to talk about key players to watch, strategy, and a whole nine. And truthfully speaking, I done made it clear, like, I'm not real confident in Southern University's coaching staff. Not only am I not confident in Southern University's coaching staff, but in terms of the way they constructed this roster, in terms of them evaluating talent, them grooming and developing talent, like they really haven't done a good job. Just like I talked about last night on who should be the next potential head coach for Southern University, is it time for Roman Makes to go to? Like I talked about the roster, and not only that, but not just Southern, but Grambling, Alcorn State, FAMU. It seems as if all four of these teams rely too heavily on the transfer portal as opposed to, finding the right high school players to bring through the ranks to develop, so on and so forth. So from a roster constructive standpoint, roster construction in terms of the players they have on the team, a lot of players starting on Southern University's team, in my personal opinion, are backups. And the backups are not even serviceable players in terms of not being playable at all. And it starts up front on both sides of the ball. The offensive line for Southern is really not that good, and the defensive line isn't either. They really miss Willie Miles, Davin Cotton, and Darius Harry on the defensive line. Not only that, but they miss Jelani Davis, who's currently at Kent State. So the defensive line and the offensive line just isn't that good. The quarterback play has been extremely inconsistent. Cameron McCoy has been a starter really for most of the season. Of course, coming into the season, Jalen Woods was the starting quarterback. And Jalen Woods, he he missed the bus to start the season. So he didn't start against North Carolina Central. Cameron McCoy did, and he, started for the most part, most of the games. Ashton Strada started against Jackson State. Jalen Woods got concussions in the last two games he started in, and two of the last three games he's played in. He's still in concussion protocol, even though he's practicing, which does not make sense to me. I don't know. To me, if you in concussion protocol, you shouldn't be practicing. But from what I understand, he still hasn't cleared concussion protocol, but he's been practicing. I don't know what's going on, but you've had a lot of inconsistency at the quarterback position, pretty much with Cameron McCoy. And as a head scratcher, they started Cameron McCoy Saturday against Bethune Cookman, which made no sense to me. Even though, we've clearly established that Jalen Woods is by far the best quarterback on the roster at this point. I think Ashton Strada gives you a better chance to win than Cameron McCoy, who is basically a glorified running back playing quarterback, and he's Bashawn McCree 2.0. Then, like I said, the offensive line, is not playing well. At the wide receiver position, I think you have a lot of potential, with Kobe Brown and Malachi Sticks Jackson. Darren Morris, in my opinion, is number one receiver. Dupree Fuller and Jermaine Minor has disappointed at the tight end position. And then with the running back position, of course, you got Trey Holly, who transferred from LSU. He's still on snap count restriction. And, he's giving Southern some long plays, but he only going to get about 11 carries a game. Mike Franklin is essentially quit on his team. But Southern University still has a lot of running backs. But running backs and wide receivers really can't do much of nothing without the offensive line blocking up front and without consistency at the quarterback position. Then you go over to defense for the most part. Kelby Givens, Mike Jones Jr., Vince Page Jr. I really like the three standouts defensively, and in terms of your secondary. I think at this point, Herman Bristol III probably put the best player in the secondary, but for the most part, the defensive line in the secondary leaves a lot to be desired. And in terms of the special teams phase of the game, the coverage teams, are not that impressive whatsoever. Nathan Zimmer has made a couple field goals, but for the most part of the season, the line up front hasn't been blocking too good. And Kenny Lee Pham got hurt on Saturday against Bethune-Cookman, but truthfully speaking, he wasn't lighting the world on fire. He had a 7-yard punt against North Carolina Central week 0. I mean, he played much better the following week, but still in all, he still hasn't lit the world on fire. So at the end of the day, Southern University is struggling in all three phases of the game. Bethune Cookman defense is not that great. Southern, the first play of the game, Dal Morris had like a 71-yard touchdown. He ran the slant. Cameron McCoy hit him on the slant, and he took it to the house. But thereafter, Southern University's offense struggled mightily to move the ball. Like I said, Bethune Cookman's defense is not that great, and Southern struggled. They struggled to run the ball. They struggled to pass the ball. And then on the opposite side of the ball, the defense can't stop a nosebleed. Southern University's coverage teams not doing much. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens for homecoming. From a coaching standpoint, Terrence Graves, he clearly is not a head coach, in my opinion. Not a good one, anyway. From an X and O standpoint, he leaves a lot to be desired. The strategies don't really seem to make sense. They don't make any adjustments from game to game and even during the course of the game. From an X and O standpoint, it's like, man, some of the decisions he makes is head-scratching decisions. Like, just to give you an example, why start Cameron McCoy against Bethune Cookman? I don't know. Unless you planned on running the ball just about every play and making him like Taysom Hill, I didn't see the point of it. So, Southern has a lot to clean up for homecoming. And that's the thing. After get blown out by Bethune Cookman prior to Saturday, Southern was 7-0 against Bethune Cookman, and they went to Daytona, and they got the doors blown off. And week after week, press conference after press conference, Terrence Graves sounds like a politician in terms of saying all the right things, but his actions does not align with what he's saying in these press conference. Saying, hey, he's going to make this adjustment, that adjustment, to really make no adjustments whatsoever. So at the end of the day, I don't have a whole lot of hopes for Saturday, but I plan on, just having fun at homecoming, to be truthful. Salute to Isaiah Wilson. He said, go Panthers. Sonic Boom C98. I'll be glad when this week's games are over. Some Bama State folks still talking. Man, I don't know why. I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to talk about it tomorrow night on my brother channel, Jared 11 Green, HBCU Fanatics. We're going to talk about, Alabama State, Jackson State. He said they are acting FAMU-ish. They starting to fake brag different. LOL. Yes, indeed. Your boy Jay said, if anybody hasn't seen Graves Tuesday press conference, go watch it. One of the worst I've ever seen. Nothing but excuses and passive-aggressive attitude. At this point, your boy Jay, I'm going to just be honest. I done kind of learned to kind of tune him out because, like I said, he kind of remind me of a woman I was in a relationship with. Literally said all the right things, and actions and words never aligned. So I'm at the point now where, like, I really tune this dude out. Like I said, it's, in my personal opinion, it's time for him to go. And realistically, like, probably get rid of Roman Banks first. And then get rid of Terrence Graves and just restart in terms of from the bottom up in terms of the athletic department. But at the end of the day, I addressed it yesterday on my live stream yesterday. So if I was Terrence Graves, which I would want to be Terrence Graves, but my strategy for Saturday's game against Prairie View, literally you struggled in all three phases of the game. And when we say play complementary football, we talking about playing complementary football on the good end of things, not on the bad end of things. Southern plays complementary football and basically is bad in all three phases, in all three aspects of the game. So for homecoming, what you need to do is get your offense on track. Like, you need to, you rely too much on big plays. If you look at the first week against North Carolina Central, Trey Holly had a long run, Cameron McCoy had a long run. But outside of that, you really did nothing. I mean, for the most part, you really didn't do nothing. Uh, you really can't count Valley because Valley is Valley. I think Terrell Buckley is doing a good job laying the foundation and trying to move that program in the right direction, but they still Valley at the end of the day. I don't think they've been relevant since really Jerry Rice days. It might be a stretch, but I think I'm over exaggerating a little bit, but it is what it is. Against Alabama State, you move the ball decent in the first half, did absolutely nothing in the second half. You got lambasted against Fresno State. Against Jackson State, again, Trey Holly had another long run. You moved the ball decent the first half, nothing in the second half. And for the most part, you really didn't do nothing at all against Bethune Cookman. So offensively, you need to establish some type of identity. You need to get something going. And you have talented running back, but Trey Holly only going to touch the ball probably about 10, 11 times. He's not going to run the ball 20 times a game. He on the snap count restriction. So you really got to kind of have to work around that. You either need to make up your mind whether you're going to try to get him going early or you're going to wait till everything kind of get out of hand to kind of bring him in and try to force feed him like you did Saturday against, Bethune Cookman. So at the end of the day, that's the main thing you need to do. You need to establish an identity offensively because from a talent standpoint, I think you're struggling in all three phases of the game, but offensively is where the most talent lies, in my personal opinion. So I think you need to get the running game going. I think if Jalen Woods starts, I'll be more confident with you moving the ball from a passing standpoint. But like Bill Parcells always said, the best ability is availability. And more than likely, he probably won't play. So I'm not counting on Jalen Woods. More than likely, Ashton Straughter will be your starter. If Jalen Woods starts, cool. But I think his health is the top priority. I'd rather him be healthy and whole Okay. All right. Can y'all hear me now? All right. I switched devices. Let's see. Okay. Switch devices. And losing bad. He should be in shape now. Well, it's not a shape thing at this point. Uh, it's kind of like, he's a 5-star player. He really doesn't want to risk getting hurt. You really, I don't see how you can do that at this point, but hey. It is what it is. So that's the real issue. But that's the reason why you can't build your offense around Holly, because that's the reason why you can't build your offense around Trey Holly, because he essentially in this context he's like a 5-star player. He's by far the best player you have on your offense, but I guess at this point he really don't want to risk getting hurt, and as a result, then he only gonna touch the ball probably about 11 times a game. He hasn't had more than 11 carries in the game, so that's the reason why you really can't build your offense around him. You really can't, count on him. I mean, at least one thing I can see about him, he ain't said, all right, here, I'm going to pack it in and I'm going to keep it pushing the way Mike Franklin did. So, he's still on the team. He's still pushing through. But, you can only count on him so much. So that's why I say, if anything, you need to get him going early and just let him watch the rest of the way. So it is what it is. But like I was saying, for all intents and purposes, you've been struggling in all three phases of the game, offensively, defensively, from a special team standpoint. More than anything, they really need to establish an identity from the standpoint of try to get your running game going. If Jalen Woods plays, you get your passing game going. If not, Cameron McCoy should not be starting. He should be your third string quarterback, regardless. I'm gonna be honest with you. It might sound extreme. I would rather start true freshman Dylan Compton over Cameron McCoy at this point. At this point, he's essentially a glorified running back playing quarterback. He can make a few plays with his arm, but not enough to keep the defense honest. So at the end of the day, you need to establish some kind of identity offensively, primarily through your running game. If Jalen Woods plays, cool. If not, you really can't count on him because, like I said earlier, Bill Parcells saying is the best ability is availability. There's no use in having a Lamborghini, when it's always broken. And in the same context with Trey Holly is available, but he's limited. Having him is like having a Lamborghini, Ferrari, Rolls Royce, whatever type of luxury car you want. You're only gonna drive it so much. You're trying to keep the mileage down on it. So that's why you really can't count on him like that. And I think you have to adjust your strategy and game plan accordingly. So try to establish our identity offensively. And more than anything, try to chew up as much clock as you could, time of possession, and keep your defense off the field, especially in the second half, because Southern clearly is not a second half team. They collapse in the second half, they fall apart. So if anything, you want to establish something offensively to kind of protect the defense and special teams. And more than anything, if you're going to have any chance at winning, you need to have a nice, sizable lead going into the second half, because I'm going to be truthful. Southern is not a second half team. I mean, if anything, Southern needs to be a front-running team where you get at least, 14, 17, 21-point lead going into the second half, and hopefully you could just hold on in the second half. So, yeah, Kendrick Wicker, to answer your question, that's why you really can't build your offense around Trey Holly. It's not necessarily he's not in shape. It's more of he's on snap count restriction in terms of, he doesn't want to get hurt. Your boy Jay say if PV go up by 10, game over. And that's sad to say. Yeah, and that's the sad thing about it. Southern is not built for playing from behind. They're a front-running type of team. You got, if anything, instead of being down by 10, they need to be up by but 14, 17 points. Because if they get down, it's a wrap. And your boy Jay, Kendrick Wicker said, of course, your boy Jay, we can never take the lead in the game. Yeah, I mean, Southern has got the lead, but they can't get up by 2 scores or more. That's the issue, you know what I'm saying? They can't get up by more than 2 scores. And my brother Jared 11 Green, salute to my brother. He said, SBCU family, make sure you hit the like button and share. That's another thing, too. If you've not done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I'm about 105 subscribers away from that magical, majestic 1,000 subscriber mark. Also, be certain to come over to Jared 11 Green channel tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, HBCU Fanatics. Man, salute to my brother Big Joe Townsend, standing on LDBC business. Mr. Old Hillside, if you like bourbon or whiskey, HBCU family, be certain to go online and get you a bottle of Old Hillside, especially the holidays coming up, around Thanksgiving time, Christmas time. If you enjoy spirits, it's a Black-owned company. He's part owner of it. Go support my brother Big Joe Townsend and go get you a bottle of Old Hillside. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay said they bragged on Compton all camp, but we never saw him. Yeah, I think the thing about it is he's a true freshman. Maybe they don't want to throw him right out in the fire. So, I mean, that's the only thing I can see. But you more than past the midway point of the season. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd rather throw him in a game and get him some reps than throw Cameron McCoy out there, especially if he don't give you the best chance to win. You know what I'm saying? Adrian Cook said, yeah, I can't repeat that, but it is what it is. Man, salute to my brother Anthony Bolton. He says salute, family. Man, salute to your Anthony Bolton. But more than anything, at the end of the day, if you Southern, you can't afford to get down. You definitely can't afford to get down by 2 scores. And if anything, you want to establish an identity offensively. You want, get you some long drives going. Especially in the second half, you want to keep your defense off the field as much as possible. And, I mean, really, honestly, I hate to say it, you done struggled in all 3 phases of the game. I really don't know from a strategy and X's and O's standpoint, what more you can do. Like I said, Jalen Wood starts. I think that improves your offense, but the offensive line, especially the right guard, he's been struggling. They need to help him as much as possible. Unbalance his side, overload his side, double, help him in any way possible, So at the end of the day, I mean, from a strategy and X and O standpoint, of course, you definitely don't want to start Cameron McCoy. You don't want to play him too much. No, really, you don't play him at all, to be truthful. You want to establish an identity offensively. You want to go on long drives. And I mean, a lot of people saying, man, Coach PV is not that good. Yeah, they're saying PV not that good, but guess what? PV has beaten SWAC teams outside of Mississippi Valley. People saying PV not that good, Texas Southern not that good. Cool. Guess what? Southern got blown out by Bethune Cookman. Jackson State beat them. Alabama State beat them. North Carolina Central beat them. Fresno State blew them out. So at the end of the day, Southern is 1-5 for a reason. So I can't in good faith say that I favor Southern over Prairie View. I'll be lying if I said anything else. So hopefully Southern could get this win, but truthfully speaking, I'm not counting on it. In fact, everybody I've talked to, like I was telling you, I talked to someone downtown Baton Rouge. I think his name was Mr. Troy. Salute to him. He's not confident Southern is going to win. I'm not confident Southern going to win. And every other person I talk to, basically all say the same thing. We don't think Southern going to win, but we're going to try to go out and we're going to try to enjoy our homecoming, enjoy the homecoming festivities. And, hopefully Southern could win. If they win, that's icing on the cake. But, more than anything, hopefully they play well. Hopefully they could get a lead early and get a big lead and just hold on for the win. But like I said earlier, I planned on being here for a good time, not a long time. Salute to everybody that came through for this particular episode. Your boy Jay, Motivation to Be a Millionaire, Relax and Calm Reign. Will Wallace, be certain Will Wallace to come over tomorrow to my brother channel. HBCU Fanatics, Jared Lovin Green on his channel. We're going to talk about Alabama State, Jackson State. Salute to Isaiah Wilson, planning on seeing you this weekend, brother. So, Sonic Boom, C98, salute to you. Kendrick Wicker, salute. Pacifico, Isaiah Wilson again. Salute to my brother Big Joe Townsend, salute. Adrian Crook, Anthony Bolton, Kendrick Wicker. He said Jackson State and Bethune was that good either way. I think Jackson State that good. I don't know, but Bethune, not for them to beat Southern the way they did. Maybe they are. Maybe the rest of the SWAC season they might show me different. But at this point, Southern is clearly not that good, and especially for you to go to Daytona and get the doors blown off. But that's it for this episode of the Tailgate Party. If you've not done so already, like I say, I'm about 105 subscribers short of 1,000 subscribers. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Like and share also. And hopefully after this weekend, I get a surge of new subscribers and I hit that 1,000 subscriber mark pretty soon. Like I said, be certain also to come over to my brother Jared Lovin Green channel tomorrow. HBCU Fanatics, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And not only that, family, be certain we enjoy the homecoming festivities this weekend, but be safe, drink responsibly. I plan on seeing y'all on the yard on the bluff this weekend for people like Isaiah Wilson and all Jaguar Nation, your boy Jay, whoever else coming out and enjoy homecoming this weekend. Kickoff is going to be at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock on Saturday. So kickoff is early. Kendrick Wicker said, I meant to say Bethune Cookman and Jackson State wasn't that good. Yeah, I agree. And I think had Southern not, give up a big play to end the first half, never know, the game might be different. But not only that, but if you look at Alabama State, Jackson State, like Southern fell apart in the second half in both of those games. And Bethune Cookman just beat the brakes off Southern. No two ways about it. But like I said, y'all enjoy these homecoming festivities. Of course, I'll catch y'all tomorrow on HBCU Fanatics on my brother Jared Lovin Green channel. And not only that, my post-game reaction on Saturday. I might not get home till probably about midnight, after midnight, whatever. Maybe about 1, 2 o'clock. So y'all might have to catch me on Saturday for the midnight hour of power in terms of my post-game reaction. But I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed and phenomenal evening. Peace and blessings. And go Jags, you dig?